afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. You have Alyssa Corum here, and I am joined by Ken Shreve. We're going to break down the action for the major indexes. A big update today after a lot of volatility the last couple of weeks, and some strong-looking stocks, aren't we, Ken?
Absolutely. As gold approaches $2,000 an ounce, we'll take a look at a breakout for Agnico Eagle Mines today and take a look at two more breakouts, one from Tempur Pedic and also DraftKings.
Fantastic. But first, let's analyze the major indexes. Here we have a chart of the Nasdaq, which gained about 1.9% for the day. The S&P 500 up 1.3%, the Dow up 1.2%. So even though at the end of last week, we finished off closing below that 50-day line, really nice to see the Nasdaq retaking that level today.
Yeah, no question about it. Really, all three indexes, at least the Nasdaq Composite, the S&P 500, the Russell 2000 Small Cap Index, all making a good stand at their 50-day moving averages. The Dow Jones didn't quite get to its 50-day, but it's still holding above that support level. So I think the real test for the Nasdaq at this point is, well, you can kind of go back on Thursday last week where it popped early and it went right up to its 21-day moving average. That's that green line right there, and then reversed sharply lower, ended up having a distribution day. So we'll see if the Nasdaq extends gains tomorrow. How close does it get to that 21-day moving average, and does it show similar action to what it did late last week?
That's right. Just because we had a strong day today doesn't mean the coast is clear as of yet. So that is a very key level to watch, as you mentioned, Ken.
Yeah, I mean, we're really just trying to assess where the market wants to go here. It's really, we have the uptrend under pressure. We've seen some increasing distribution days or higher volume declines. That points towards institutional selling in the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. So market direction is still a little bit uncertain. I know the bulls will take a very bullish Monday and put it in their back pocket. We'll see how we do tomorrow.
All right. And AEM, which you mentioned at the top, Agnico Eagle Mines, with a nice breakout today, up over 5%, heavy volume. Now, by the look of this chart, it doesn't look like we had volatility at all the last couple of weeks. It came down and almost touched that 50-day line, but a really nice breakout today with strong volume and that relative strength line hitting new highs. So a pretty picture perfect breakout.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I mentioned that gold is fast approaching $2,000 an ounce. And really, we on IBD Live, we've been talking a lot about the good action in gold stocks. And AEM, Agnico, is one of the stocks in the group with the highest composite ratings. So it tells you you've got pretty good fundamentals here. We can go to the weekly chart and just take a look at just a nice tight flat base that formed right at the 10-week moving average. You can see the red line there. So anytime a stock bases and finds support at the 10-week moving average as it's consolidating, that's a sign of strength. It was a very shallow pullback when Agnico just kind of drifted sideways. So this was just a picture perfect technical breakout, and it's still well within the 5% buy zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very good point. We'll have to see what comes tomorrow, but you definitely don't want to be chasing a stock. So knowing that is finishing the day in the 5% buy zone is great to point out. And TPX, Tempur Sealy, we have that stock gaining about 8.5% today, heavy volume here. And we had some bullish sales guidance that really boosted the stock after it traded in a pretty nice tight range over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, what we really like about this move is a nice relative strength line. You can see on the daily chart here shooting into new high ground with the stock. Sometimes stocks break out and their relative strength line is lagging a little bit, not quite in new high ground, but that was not the case with Tempur Pedic. The sales guidance was interesting. They guided Q3 sales. They said it was going to be up about 30% year over year, which is pretty respectable growth. It wasn't huge raised guidance because they were expecting earlier about 25% growth. So it was raised guidance. Stock market took that as an opportunity to bid up shares. And this is just a nice solid technical breakout. Very easy buy point to see here. 89.33, 10 cents above that recent high. So nice breakout for Tempur Pedic as well.
Yeah, also nice to see it closing near the top of its range for the day. Yet another sign of strength here. So good to see that as well. And last but not least, DraftKings DKNG moving big in heavy volume on news of a partnership with ESPN, and a strong looking relative strength line here for DraftKings as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, look at this. This was a 17% move for the stock. They're going to, like you said, going to become the exclusive daily fantasy sports provider to ESPN. And then they have DraftKings has a lot of other products and services that are going to be integrated all across. ESPN's digital platform. So this is just a really good, solid breakout to new high ground. And fantasy sports, sports betting. We've been talking about names like Penn National Gaming, DraftKings. This is looks like it's here to stay. And I think DraftKings, the fact that it's a new issue, still could be in the early stages of a move here.
All right, and we talked about Agnico still being in that 5% buy range. What are your thoughts here with DraftKings now 9% above that pivot area?
Yeah, I mean, an explosive move. What we say probably wouldn't touch the stock here, but when you get a really strong move like this, it's pretty common for a top stock to just kind of hold on to those gains, even if it pulls back down to 47, 46. Maybe it can pull back a little closer to that 44, the buy point there, and if it does comes within that 5% buy zone, it would be back in buy range. And when a stock pulls back to a buy area, you want to see light volume. You don't want to see heavy volume. So we'll see what the nature of the pullback looks like, and if it extends gains, well, keep it on your watch list because it could be a real powerful mover that could present an alternate entry soon.
Yeah, one to keep tabs on, and sports are definitely back in full force. So that's something that's very exciting. And that is it for today, everyone. We really appreciate you tuning in. We continue to break down all the stock moves that you need to know each morning on IBD Live. So make sure you tune in for in-depth discussions about actionable stocks, portfolio strategies, and our take on the broad market conditions, which is something that is super incredible during this time with the heightened volatility that we now have after a really big run up in the prior couple of months, Ken.
Yeah, no doubt. So again, the action in growth stocks, it was a good day for a lot of growth stocks. I checked breadth with about an hour to go in the market, and advancing stocks were nicely higher on the NYSE by about 6-1. Breadth was a little bit weaker on the Nasdaq, about 3-1. Winners over losers, so pretty good. But like I said, the indexes are making a stand at their 50-day moving averages right now, and we'll continue to look for renewed signs of institutional buying. That's what's going to get this market uptrend going again. But as we've been talking about on IBD Live, a really good thing that could happen to this market would just be a little period of consolidation, so some of these leading stocks can catch their breath.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get it. But one thing's for sure, IBD has got your back every step of the way with all of the changing market conditions. We're analyzing it in extreme detail for you, backed all by a system that has been proven over time. We're taking a look at history and putting that into action. And one more thing before we go that I definitely want to mention is that it is MarketSmith free access week. So the charts that we use that you see here every day, what we're using on IBD Live, those are our MarketSmith charts. It's a very powerful platform for your stock research, and it's no credit card required this week. So if you've not yet checked out MarketSmith, now is the time to do so. If you go to the homepage of investors.com, you should see promotions for it all over the place. But I think you can also go to investors.com/MS free access or MS access. I'll have to check on that for everyone, but for sure on the homepage of investors.com, and a lot of powerful screening tools, Ken.
Well, MarketSmith has a big following because really you can do all of your fundamental and technical research all in one place. So, you've got pretty basic charts, daily charts, weekly charts, monthly charts, intraday charts. I mean, that's all pretty common. But when you can get the last 8 quarters of earnings and sales information and return on equity and fund sponsorship data, profit margin, what better way to save time just doing all your fundamental research and technical research all in one place?
That's right. And all of our proprietary rankings as well, whether it's the composite rating, EPS rating, you name it, we've got it. So we encourage you to check that out this week. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.